Let's talk about some random guy. So I work at a bar now, and usually in the bar we only get regulars, so like people who've been coming to that bar for years and years and years. Something important about the story is that there's only ever one employee in the bar at any time, so if I'm working alone. Anyhow, so this guy I've never seen before comes into the bar. And the first thing I have to do is I have to introduce myself and get his name, because that's the kind of bar we are. We're trying to be very friendly and very inclusive and all that, so I get his name. And he sits down, he orders a beer and a shot, and he's drinking, but he's also staring at me intently. Then two of my other regulars, both female, walk in, and he starts staring at them. Then he starts mumbling to himself while still staring at me and the other two girls. And it's a foreign language, so I have no idea what he was talking about. But he was starting to kind of get the attention of the two other girls that were at the bar. And it was kind of becoming apparent that something wasn't quite right with this guy. So usually people's first reaction to seeing someone who's not mentally well is fear. We think, okay, so this person's not in control, so they're going to fly off the handle, they're going to do something, they're going to hurt somebody. So one of the two women paid up and left, and the other one was still, feeling weird about this guy. So she waves me over and she goes, yeah, what's going on over there? I'm like, oh, he's just, it's okay, don't worry about it. And she goes, yeah, you shouldn't serve him anymore. And I said, no, I'm not going to stop serving him. He's not being belligerent, he's not being obnoxious, he's not causing a scene. He's just not okay. And, that was kind of upsetting to me because I wanted to tell her in that moment, like, look, I have been exactly in the same place that he's been. But I felt she was so heavily judgmental of this guy that if I had said that, that would cause a rift between her and I. I know for a fact that a lot of my regulars think I'm weird. I know that. And I would love if I could just tell them, I'm schizophrenic, guys. I'm medicated. I went through a lot of stuff, okay? I want to be able to say that stuff, but I fear that if I open up about that part of my life, it's gonna come back to me, in bad ways. People are gonna start gossiping. They're gonna start not respecting me. Things will change if I admit to the stuff I've been through. But her calling me over and expressing concern made me realize that there is something I can do. And I think this is what we should be doing for everyone. Every time we see someone who's very clearly not okay, this is what we should do. So the mental health hospital here in Toronto is called CAMH, which stands for Centre for Addiction and Mental Health. What I did is I wrote down their number and the address of one of their locations where there's many, many different wards that people can stay at for free, where they'll give you a room, a bed, and 3 square meals a day. I wrote down the number and the location on a note, and I gave it to him. Because that's what we should be doing. That's exactly what we should be doing every time we see someone who is very clearly mentally unwell. Now, of course, he did not take that well. I gave him the note. He said, what's this? I said, it's the mental health hospital here in Toronto. He basically threw the note back in my face and said, hey, that's not for me. That is not for me. You give that to someone else. So I tried to help him and I couldn't, which really sucked. And at this point, everyone else in the bar had paid up and left. So it was just me and him. And he continued to mumble to himself and every now and then just stare at me. And it was very uncomfortable. And as I said, I work alone. So I started texting a lot of my friends, telling them the situation in the bar, just in case. Because as I said, when you see someone who's not okay, your first thought is, oh, I'm in danger. And after he left, I didn't feel good about myself. I wish I didn't have that reaction to be oh no, because I know I've been in the psychosis. I wasn't a violent person. I wasn't out there to hurt anybody. I was just spooky, and I wish there was more I could do, but I did everything I could, and if there was an ideal world where we did just, every time we see someone unwell, oh, here's something that could help you. If we just did that, the first 2 or 3 times you hear someone say, you're not okay, you go, hey, but, 4 or 5 times people saying, hey, Do you need help? Eventually it's gonna sink in that, oh, maybe I do. Maybe I do. Anyways, I want to encourage every single person watching this video to, next time you see someone who's not well, instead of shunning them and ignoring them and gossiping about them, instead be brave and bold and actually go up to them and tell them, I think you need help. Even do what I did, write down the number, write down the location, give it to them in a note, because it can be hard to accept that something's not quite right with yourself. I mean, when I was in my psychosis, I definitely didn't want to accept that I wasn't okay, but if enough people are out there looking out for each other, then there'd be so many less people walking around just being unwell, We'd have so many more people getting the treatment that they need. Anyhow, thank you for watching my video, and I really, really, really appreciate your continued support. So comment, like, subscribe, and share, and I will see you in a week. All right? Have a good day. Goodbye.